This is PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even if feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even if feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you eat.
Hey guys, it's me Travis with PlayerProps.ai, and this is what we're looking at for Week 4 Monday Night Football. We record our shows on specific days of the week. The Monday Night Football episode is always recorded on Fridays, which is the day after Thursday Night Football, so we can do a little quick recap. Spoiler alert, we profited again last night. If you paid attention to the video that I dropped on YouTube and I emailed to you and I blasted in Discord a million times, which made it impossible for you to ignore it unless you were intentionally ignoring the YouTube content. We did our normal thing we've done with MLB, where if there's not one specific thing that I'm 100% absolutely in love with, we do 3. And then, of course, if you listen to anything that I've ever told you, we single them. So the goal, as I mentioned on the show yesterday, or on the show for Thursday Night Football, was a 2 out of 3 profit day. Of course, 3 out of 3 is the cherry on top, the icing on the cake. But 2 out of 3 still gets us profit, and that's exactly what we hit. We hit both of the props that we did. We did under Trey Benson rushing yards, over Sam Darnold passing yards. And then the third one, almost swept. We had Arizona money line as well. The game was 20-20 with 4 seconds left. We were begging Arizona head coach to go for 2 so they could get the win, but they decided to be scaredy cats, which they've been for years now. And they tied it up and left enough time on the clock, like dum-dums, to allow Seattle to get a game-winning field goal. So they could have had the win, but they didn't go for it. But we still had profit because we hit 2 props and only had that 1 L there. Now, that being said, we're going to find something for Monday Night Football. This is a special Monday Night Football because there are 2 games. Now, as of this recording, you see I have BetMGM chosen here because it looks like DraftKings and FanDuel don't have player props for the Miami Jets game. The reason for that is most likely because Justin Fields, the quarterback for the Jets, has not officially 100% been deemed active, and a quarterback can change so many things, and so that's kind of why they're holding off on it. But we do have books that have both games available. So that being said, let's find something. If you ever need any help with anything, just ask. The amount of people that give up before asking is astronomical, especially when we have the most helpful Discord for sports betting on planet Earth. There's no such thing as a dumb question. Please, for the love of all that's holy, if you need help, just ask. And you might be asking yourself, where do I just ask? Well, there's a free Discord that has at least over 17,000 now of our members in it. You ask a question in that Discord, you get an answer. Easy as that. You want to try us out for a week and you've never had premium access before? Well, Week 4 sounds like a pretty good week to give us a try. Go to PlayerProps.ai/weekpass and get a week trial. So let's look at it. So I chose BetMGM because they are one of the few sources that have both games listed. I can only assume there are no over-under trifectas for receiving yards, which there are not. But what's interesting to note is that Cincinnati has the 8th worst pass defense, because they are the 8th most in TPYA, total pass yards allowed, which is the same thing as saying total receiving yards allowed. It looks like Miami is 12th, Denver's 11th. So the only, 8's not too far away from 10, 11, so there's not like a certain defense that we absolutely want to target based on those rankings. But we don't have any trifectas. So what we do when we don't have trifectas is we change the line to the minimum standard for trifectas, which is 40. 40. That's weird that like the system skips 40. It's like 39 or 41. You don't get in the middle. Sometimes my own app likes to toy with me. So 39 is the minimum, but 40 is we're looking for, which doesn't matter. They're both fine. So we have 4 players. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we have Cortland Sutton, Denver, Garrett Wilson, Jets, and we have 2 of our Bengals players. So there's no Miami players that have this line at the moment anyway. The biggest difference on the over side, I mean, we're talking like 3, 4. Yeah, they both have like 3 yards difference here. They all have projections that are higher than the line, but they're not anything. So I don't think. Let me check. I know we only have DraftKings only has props for this game, but I want to see if there's anything different. So there's like a 4.6 difference with Chase here, Jamar. Even with the 4 though, it's not anything that's. But they have Troy Franklin at 41.5. A little bit more percentage difference with Chase on FanDuel, 63.5. Line is 69.18. Or the projection is. So, I just don't trust this quarterback. I don't trust Cincinnati's quarterback here. So let's go back to the game that we know has both games, or the sportsbook that has both games right now. Let's look at rushing yards, see if there's anything we can find here. Chase Brown, a 5-yard difference. Anything on the underside? No, not really. So I'm pretty sure Cincinnati is an underdog to Denver. I believe Denver's like a touchdown favorite. And I know Chase Brown, I mean, he's active in the passing game, but my question I'm asking is, does Cincinnati actually have a chance of winning this game to where they're running Chase Brown? I don't think that's the case with this horrendous quarterback. Here, Breece Hall, 47.5 rushing yard lines. The projection's like 3.67, 3.57 more. Miami does have a pretty poopy rush defense. They've allowed the 5th most total rushing yards. Even though Miami is technically favored by the sports books, they're like a 2.5 point favorite. Our AI says that the Jets will probably win this game, or at least keep it a lot closer than people think, even closer than the 2.5 spread that they currently have. It looks like his line started at like 51.5. It's dropped all the way down to 47. They were trailing the entirety of this Buffalo game, I'm pretty certain, and I think they only took the lead in Tampa Bay when they returned that blocked field goal for a touchdown. So there wasn't really much opportunity for Breece Hall to get a lot of carries. And then game 1, he got 107 rushing yards against the Pittsburgh defense. Last time he versed Miami was the last game of the season where he got 57 yards. Okay, so the two things that I'm back pocketing, and if you aren't familiar with the term back pocketing, it's things that I'm not in love with, but want to look at after we look at all the stuff. So right now we're back pocketing. I think it was Jamar Chase. If we can find him at a much lower line, I think I might like him a little bit more, because I feel like they're going to be down the entire game, and of course Chase demands attention based on his skill set. It's just if the quarterback can actually give him the rock enough. And then Breece Hall versus the 5th worst rushing defense, when the AI is also saying that, hey, they're probably actually going to win this game, so that means they might be running out the clock. So those are two things that we're looking at. So now we're going to look at passing yards. It looks like we don't have any passing yards for Tua or for... Yeah, we don't have any passing yards for the... Jets or Miami game. That's probably because they're waiting to get news on Justin Fields before they put anything out. It's fine. Both quarterbacks on this game... Oh, I was going to say both quarterbacks have a projection under, but the line is so different. So there doesn't seem to be any wiggle room here. It looks like a lot of the Bo Nix lines, with the exception of BetMGM, really high at 227. Yeah, 227 seems to be the highest one on BetMGM. That's lower. The Jake Browning thing, which, yeah, sure, he sucks as a quarterback, but I feel like they're going to be down this entire game, so he's going to be passing. So I don't know if I'm in love with going under 224, going under in general on a quarterback that probably will be passing the entire time. So, I wonder what their interception. Oh, we got a picture here. So projection is 0.87 for throwing an interception. I don't know what the sweet spot is on this yet. It's something I'm still monitoring, but it's a 65 implied chance by the sportsbooks, minus 190 that Jake Browning is going to throw an interception against Denver. So what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to look to see what the team stuff's saying. And so like I said here, so yeah, the AI, even though it's only by 53%, which is a super smidge, a small portion, it does say that the Jets might be able to pull this one out. And then Denver is over projected. So the sportsbooks say they're at 82% implied chance. They should only be 71. So even though both the AI and the sportsbooks are both on them winning, the AI says don't touch Denver money line. It's way too expensive based on what their actual projected chance of winning is. Anytime you see red here, that means don't touch either of the team's money lines. So that's what we learned from that. Of course, if it says Jets money line is the favored, then you're also going to see Jets spread here. Because Denver is overvalued, it says the Bengals are going to keep it close, which is why Bengals plus 7.5 is favored here. If you've paid attention to anything I've said in the last 4 weeks on this show, when it comes to spreads or totals or something where something has to happen by a certain number, I've mentioned that I like football scores, football score logic. Based on all of the football scores that have ever happened in any game ever, a lot of teams lose by a touchdown, by 7 points. That's typically a margin of victory for the winning team. 7 points. It's a touchdown, an extra point. So when you see plus 7.5, that allows the Bengals to have a traditional score of losing by a touchdown and still cover, because that 0.5 helps us out there. We'll take a look at this here. 2.58 is better than 1.36 on the difference. So the line is 44.5, projection is 41.92. So it says it's going to be an under game here. The biggest difference, there's a 0.5 on the team total, 1.5, 1.5, and 2.5. I think for NFL, what we've been targeting, I mean, so far, what was it, last Thursday, the Dolphins had like a 6.5 difference, and we went over 17.5, and they hit that. So I don't think 2.5 is enough. And this is something where you're not supposed to be forcing bets. Like, oh, it says that the Bengals are going to score 0.5 more than 17.5. We need to bet the over. No. You only touch things that make sense. You only bet things that have an edge. You don't just bet things because there's a direction guidance. If there's no edge, don't force it. So there's nothing really here that stands out to me. So are we going to do another 2 out of 3 profit day like we just had for Thursday Night Football that worked out for us and we made profit? I think that's what we're doing. So now that we have that idea, we're going to find the best lines possible, because you have to shop for lines to not shoot yourself in the foot for both of those situations. So the first thing we were looking for is Chase. receiving yards, because Cincinnati should be passing this entire game. And even though Browning is the worst quarterback in the NFL, I believe he leads the entire league in interceptions, and he only has played 6 quarters. His line is as high as 67.5 on some books. We can get him down to 63.5 on OneUpParlay.online and FanDuel. So we're going to do 63.5 Chase. Looks like only 2 books have something for him. So I'm recording this on Friday. Clearly, when they determine who the starting quarterback is going to be, and if it's Fields, which is what our AI is suggesting based on it giving the Jets a slight favorite bump to the Dolphins, I think this line's going to be less. So instead of me saying over 47.5, I'm saying the lowest line that Breece Hall has when all the books figure things out and when stuff is happening. Because I can only assume, since we only have data from 2 different books right now for Breece Hall yards, rushing yards, that somebody's going to have a line lower than 47.5. These books are not always known for having the lowest line. And they're also favoring the under as well. I'm going to go back to that real quick. Rushing yards. That's crazy that it's only 3 days away. What is today? Friday? Yeah, 3 days away. And they're still, DraftKings and FanDuel are very careful about getting screwed by putting out a line too early. So they're monitoring things. So what I'm doing right now is I pulled up my phone and I'm pulling up to see like if they just released something as we were recording. And we're waiting for the feed of Breece Hall's line from these books to come in. That's crazy. They don't have anything. So I just went to DraftKings, and the only rushing prop they have is the first carry. Is like for Achane and Breece Hall. Is the first carry going to be over under 3.5 yards? Let me check FanDuel real quick. You'd think that they want as much action as possible, that they wouldn't just be sitting on their hands and the fear that people using PlayerProps.ai are going to cost them trillions of dollars as we normally do. Let me check FanDuel here real quick. They got to have something more than the amount of yards for the first rush. No, there are no props at all for this game. So they're both waiting. BetMGM and Hard Rock are like, screw it. You want to bet on this game? You bet on this game. FanDuel and DraftKings are twiddling their fingers, sweat dripping from their foreheads. Let's hope to goodness we don't put something out too early and everybody jumps on it and we lose a lot of money. So clearly we've been beating them up because they're already terrified to drop things around the normal time they do. So here's the conclusion of the show. We're going, this is dependent on Justin Fields starting. If something bad happens from his practice on Friday or warm up on Saturday or whatever happens, he doesn't play, this is a wash. But I can only assume that he is, because everything I'm looking at says he is going to. So if Justin Fields plays, we're going to go with the Jets money line. As much as I hate that, I'm going with what the AI is saying. We're going with Chase at the line that we showed you. And then going with Breece, but at the lowest line out of all of the books once they figure their crap out. And because you're singling these anyway, you can do the first 2 if you want to, and then just kind of wait to see what the lowest line is. But again, if FanDuel or DraftKings or OneUpParlay or any of the other books have something lower than 47.5, then that becomes the official line. Because they're afraid right now, we don't know what that is. but 47.5 is like the standard, I guess. And so we're just looking for somebody to offer lower than that. And the fact that like the books are favoring the under, I can only assume that it might dip another point or two down, or another yard or two down. But yeah, so I think that's what we're doing here. So we're going out for a 2 out of 3 profit, just like we did on yesterday's winning show for Thursday Night Football. Let's keep the win streak, the profit streak going. And yeah, for the trillionth time. If you've never tried us out before, having full access to the Discord and the app, just go to PlayerProps.ai/weekpass in your browser. You can type it in Google Chrome, type it in Safari. It doesn't matter the browser you type it in, just type it. And for the people who are joining us, you have to. I'm not saying you should. It is 1000% mandatory. If you are going to use the PlayerProps.ai app, you have to be in the Discord. There is far too much value, too much assistance, too much guidance, too much tips, tools, and tricks inside of the award-winning Discord that we have for you not to be in the Discord. If you don't have a Discord account, I don't care. You make one. It's free. Get in the Discord. There are way too many people who are using the app and not in the Discord. And like, well, I didn't know this, and this, because you're not listening to the words coming out of my mouth. You have to get in the Discord. How do you get in the Discord? Well, for everybody that's new, I'll show you real quick. The first thing you do is you click the Discord logo in the top left of the app. That actually gets you into our server. Once you do that, you go over here and you click the little human person icon right to the left of that. That takes you to your profile page. When you look at your PlayerProps.ai profile page, there'll be a button like right around here. It's like purple, bluish, and it says Connect Discord. You tap that button and then you log into your Discord, and what that does is it syncs your PlayerProps.ai account to your Discord account, and that's what opens up all the channels. So if everybody's like, well, I joined the Discord, how come I don't see the channels? You haven't connected your accounts yet. There's like one channel you can see when you join, and it literally says everything I just said, how to unlock channels. So make sure you do that. You do not have technically speaking, yeah, you can still crush with our app without the Discord, but you're doing yourself a disservice. You're missing out on so much extra stuff that the Discord offers by not being in it. So have discipline. Don't be lazy. Get in the Discord. You know it works because you've seen $500,000 of winning screenshots in the last 12 months, so you know it's working. So yeah, just do what we tell you to do, and you will lose less often. It's literally guaranteed. If you follow all the guidelines, you lose less often. It's not rocket science. I know there's a lot of numbers. Math may not be your favorite thing. There's no math involved. It's just following the guidelines. So do that, get in, and we'll see you guys in the Discord. Good luck.